Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let us start our today's video with another Japanese proverb. Stumbling 7 times but recovering at 8 trial. This proverb tells that nobody can avoid failures. But if we will not give up and keep trying, there must be a chance to recover and make a success. I wish you all have a successful life in future. Today we are going to see the second part of the lesson, the ashes that made trees bloom. Before going into the lesson, let us have a quick recall of the part 1. Okay, children? Yes? So, can you just share me what did you learn in the first section? Yes, very good. So, this is a story about an honest and a hard-working old couples and about a very greedy and jealous wicked couples. And there was a pet dog. The neighbors are troublesome and the dog dies a very sad death. The spirit of the dog, that is the soul of the dog, gives solace and it is supporting to his master in unexpected ways. So, how he is helping his master, we have seen. So, now we are going to continue with the next section, section 2. Not long after that, the good old man dreamed again, and the spirit of the dog spoke to him, telling him how the wicked people had turned the mill made from the pine tree. Take the ashes of the mill, sprinkle them on the withered trees, and they will bloom again, said the dog spirit. So here again we see that the old man had a dream again. So in his dream again the dog appeared and he was telling how the people had burned the mill and the mortar. So then he is asking the master to just go to the wicked couples and collect the ashes of that mill. And if you sprinkle all those ashes on withered trees, it will start blooming again. So what do you mean by withered trees? So withered here means the dry tree, the tree from which the all the leaves have fallen, or all the nothing, it is a bare tree. Okay, the dry bare tree, that is called as withered trees. So the dog is asking the master to put the ashes on a withered tree so that it starts blooming again. Okay, so now it's the second paragraph. The old man awoke and went at once to his wicked neighbor's house, where he found the miserable old pair sitting at the edge of their square fireplace in the middle of the floor, smoking and spinning. From time to time, they warmed their hands and feet with the blaze. So here the old couples were sitting just next to that fireplace, and they were warming themselves in that firewood, and they were smoking and they were spinning. So this neighbor, he just runs and have a look at these wicked couples. From same bits of the mill, while behind them lay a pile of the broken pieces. So the place where they were sitting, just next to that, all the pieces of the mill, the broken pieces of the mill and the mortar was laid next to them. So using that, they were making the firewood and they were warming themselves. The good old man humbly asked for the ashes, though the covetous couple turned up their noses at him and scolded him as if he were a thief. They let him fill his basket with the ashes. So here the old man, with great, very humbly, he was asking for the ashes from the wicked couples. The couples were they were showing their faces, then they started scolding him as if he was a thief, and then finally they let him to fill his basket with those ashes. On coming home, the old man took his wife into the garden. It being winter, their favorite cherry tree was bare. He sprinkled a pinch of ashes on it, and lo, it sprouted blossoms until it became a cloud of pink blooms which perfumed the air. The news of this filled the village, and everyone ran out to see the wonder. So here what happened? The man, as soon as he collected the ashes, he took the ashes and called his wife and went to the garden. So it was the winter season, so the cherry tree was very bare. So no leaves or flowers, nothing was there on the tree. So as soon as he sprinkled these ashes on it, what a beautiful sight. So suddenly there was the flowers just bloomed out of the tree. So it became a cloud of pink blooms, and the whole place had a beautiful perfume smell there. So this news of you know of blooming of the tree by sprinkling of ashes, it just spread all over the village. So and everybody in the village started coming out and to see this wonder happening in this house. The covetous couple also heard the story and gathered up the remaining ashes of the mill, kept them to make withered trees blossom. So here even the wicked couples, they also heard the story, and what they did, they just collected all the remaining ashes which was there in their firewood, and they kept it for themselves to use to turn the withered trees again to blossom. The kind old man, hearing that his lord, the daimyo, was to pass along the high road near. So here the old couples, they had a news that the king is going to come to their place near the village, set out to see him. Taking his basket of ashes, as the train approached, he climbed up into an old withered cherry tree that stood by the wayside. So when he got the news that the king is going to come, the lord is going to come that way, he just climbed up the tree out there with the ashes, and he was waiting for the train to come. Now, in the days of the daimyo, it was the custom when their lord passed by for all the loyal people to shut up their high windows. They even pasted them fast with a slip of paper so as not to commit the impertinence of looking down on his lordship. All the people along the road would fall upon their hands and knees and remain prostrate until the procession passed by. So here in his kingdom, it was a custom that they followed, that no one will look down upon the Lord. So even the high windows which were there in the houses, all were being sealed. Okay, so no one is going to look up from him above the Lord. So everybody will fall onto their knees and look down when the procession is going on or passing by in their place. The train drew near. One tall, competent man marched ahead, crying out to the people by the way, "Get down on your knees, get down on your knees." And everyone kneeled down while the procession was passing. So here, whenever the train was passing, a man used to lead them. So that man who was standing in front, he will always keep telling everybody to kneel down, whoever he sees. Suddenly, the leader of the van caught sight of an aged man up in the tree. He was about to call out to him in an angry tone, but seeing he was such an old fellow, he pretended not to notice him and passed him by. So when the daimyo's palanquin drew near, the old man, taking a pinch of ashes from his basket, scattered it over the tree. In a moment, it burst into blossoms. So here what happened suddenly, when the man, he just caught sight of this old man sitting on the tree. So when he went near him, he saw he was very old man, and the man thought that this old man has not noticed the procession passing by. So he just pretends that he has not seen. So as soon as they came near, the old man, he sprinkles the ashes on the tree. So as soon as he sprinkled the ashes on the withered tree, the blossoms have come out of the tree. The delighted daimyo ordered the train to be stopped and got out to see the wonder. Calling the old man to him, he thanked him and ordered presents of silk robes, sponge cake, fans, and other rewards to be given him. He even invited him to his castle. So the old man went gleefully home to share his joy with his dear old wife. So here, as soon as the tree blossomed, the daimyo, he was very happy, very delighted. Delighted means being very happy. So he was happy to see. He just stopped the train immediately. He came out and he saw that wonderful sight happening there. So he was very surprised and very happy. So he just called the old man and he gave him lot of gifts, like the silk robes he gave fans, he gave sponge cakes, and he gave lot of rewards also. And he also invited the old man to his palace. Castle means palace. So with great happiness. So here the word gleefully is given. So gleefully means he is very happy. So very happily he goes home and he shares all the things happening here with his wife. But when the greedy neighbor heard of it, he took some of the magic ashes, went out on the highway. There he waited until a daimyo's train came along, and instead of kneeling down like the crowd, he climbed a withered cherry tree. So, when the greedy neighbors they heard about this news, they also wanted to be blessed by the Lord. So they just collected the ashes and they went on the highway and they just waited till the train is come, the procession is coming towards them. So he also, not unlike the other people kneeling down, the man climbed up the tree and waited to sprinkle the ashes on the tree. When the daimyo himself was almost directly under him, he threw a handful of ashes over the tree, which did not change a particle. The wind blew the fine dust in the noses and eyes of the daimyo and his wife. Such sneezing and choking, it spoiled all the pomp and dignity of the procession. The man whose business it was to cry, "Get down on your knees," sneezed the old fool by the collar, dragged him from the tree, and tumbled him and his ash basket into the ditch by the road. Then, beating him soundly, he left him for dead. So here what happened, as soon as this wicked couple, the greedy couples, they sprinkled the ashes in the tree, there was no change in the tree. Instead of that, that ashes flew in the wind and that ashes went into the noses and it started choking, and the daimyo and his wife started sneezing and it became choking for them. So they were very angry now. So with great anger, the people of the Lord, they just dragged him down to his knees and they started beating him very badly and left him for the die. Thus the wicked old man died in the mud, but the kind friend of the dog dwelt in peace and plenty. And both he and his wife lived to a green old age. William Elliot Griffiths, A Japanese Tale. So now we have come to the end of the story here. So here, at the end of the story, the old couples, they had a very peaceful and a very happy life. So I hope you all understood the story. So tell me, what was the moral of the story? Yes, anybody can tell me? Yes, very good. We must not be jealous of anybody, nor we must be greedy. So what does greediness lead us to? greediness will always lead us to pain and distractions. So you children too, don't be greedy or jealous of anybody. Okay children? Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.